I just hope that it doesn't increase, and I'm afraid it might. I really am.
The Catholic Rural Life Conference is planning outreaches to try and head off the potential for crisis in the farm. Michael Murray says it's important that growers in trouble know that they're not alone. Ian Caldwell, TV London News, near Delhi.
Just over a week ago, tourists were being told to avoid Venezuela, but now the Canadian embassy there says conditions are returning to normal. The riots had been traced to the austerity measures forced by the country's massive debt, and they may have also played a background role in a dramatic shift today in American policy toward the third world debt.
Kill for lumber at Akitsen's at 7:15 in the morning that I have arose because of you, Sean, wanting all this junk. Every time you call, you want something else.
Get the sliding doors.
Sliding doors on the side. Tin roof. Got a chimney up there, so they've got some kind of heat source. A window there.
The doors look like they're, I'm going to measure.
Doors are large. Your dad couldn't come by himself because he doesn't know how to use his camera. Door on the front. Probably a sliding door on the front too. But we don't know what it is inside. What's that?
369. That's 11. They're about 11 feet wide by 10 feet high.
11 feet by 10 feet high.
10 feet high. So like it's 1, 2, 3. 3 pieces of plywood and then a good 2 feet on the end here.
3 pieces of plywood and 2 feet then added on the end of each door. And they had to add 2 feet on the bottom, so.
A ball bearing track.
Ball bearing track.
And he's extended this roof here for some reason that I don't know.
He extended the roof out. It makes a big
About 4 feet.
awning kind of thing, I guess. 4 feet.
2 doors.
It's 2 doors there. Okay, that's enough, eh? Front of it. Just another sliding door. Not as big, with a walk-in door. And it's got siding around it.
Back across the back, or put 12 or 14s this way. You catch that then?
No, I don't know. Yeah, some of it.
But he won't, I think recording, because Marilyn, like, it'd be a lot quicker now writing it down. Which way, you're right?
No, I see it's hooked on the inside. Oh, I've got quite a bit of it written down anyway. When you've been in the tobacco business,
They have the awning around. This is because of rain.
there. No.
You can hear it, or that'll pick up the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You explain
the
again,
important
like,
things that he's got to do is have airspace.
Got to have
air
airspace.
circulation.
Right.
And sticks between every row, an inch between every board. And these sticks should be about 2 feet apart going back your lift. Like I said before, lots of air movement. Don't crowd things in too much. We've got this kiln 16.5 feet long, so as we can put 12 footers lengthways and put a pack in behind, or we can put 10s this way and a pack behind it, just because of the length. Now, if he was in a place where everything was 6 and 10 feet long,
Yeah.
he would make his dimensions what was the best.
Is this hand bombed in here? Or put
This
in
is
the-
all put in by hand. It's just like loading a tobacco kill, the old
Yeah,
kills. You
okay.
can't load them automatically.
Unless you can't because of the clearance.
Well, you can anyway, because if you look under here, Mike, see, this is all the heaters under here.
Oh, catch that, Marilyn.
Yeah, I got it, Mike.
And if you heat any other way, you get too much air movement.
Okay.
And air movement will crack your wood. Like if you put a board out in the wind, you're going to crack your board open. If you put the board in the shade, but keep heat on it and keep the wind away from it, you're not going to crack it. The sticks,
So
the
there's no
sticks in the
airflow.
lifts,
There's no like
very
it's not
little
like
air
the back
movement.
end. You don't have exhaust and you don't.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but not a heavy, like if you were heating this with electricity, you'd have to have a pretty good fan going, unless you heat it at the bottom.
Okay.
But if you were to heat it from the top with electric radiant heat or something, and force that heat down the side,
Yeah.
you'd have to shield it so that you weren't forcing it against the wood, or you're going to crack your wood all over.
Okay.
You can't have a lot of hot air blowing at the lumber. You just want it to filter through there.
That would be one reason then in favor of three-phase, Marilyn. But the only reason I've heard yet. Like he's thinking of going three-phase for his planer. He bought a planer from, well, Francis Saul used to have it. From
Yeah?
A 24-inch planer, and it's three-phase,
Yeah.
motorized. What is it, 25 horse?
They've got three-phase down
Well,
there.
they have three-phase, but it's not 550. It's what?
440.
Or 440.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Gary Smith told me
British.
that won't work.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's British.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I
he
guess
could-
I don't have to ask about insulation because, like, here is cold. You probably really got this insulated here with the building.
The main reason it's insulated is to control the heat inside.
Control the heat inside. All
Yeah.
right. Well, maybe he has to do that there then too.
Well, he's got to control the heat inside.
He's got a hell of a humidity problem. I found out when I was talking.
Oh,
to
yeah.
him.
Well, he needs an air exchanger, and
Yeah.
he needs a heater.
Air exchanger. I'm not even sure what that is.
Bring fresh air in and take damp air out. Most
Will we
new
be
houses have
seeing
them
that?
nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, most new houses
Air
have.
exchanger.
Yeah.
So it's just like an intake fan, you mean? And
Yeah, and well, it has to take the moisture out of the air, or else all your outlets are going to rust.
Okay.
So you just have water running down the outside of the building. Now he could do it with electricity, the same way as what we've done it here. We could easily have just put 2 or 3 big
Is this
rads
hot
up
water,
here and
just
put.
so I know
That's
these are
hot water. Yeah.
hot water rads here.
Yeah. But he wouldn't want a boiler down there because there'd be a lot of days when he wouldn't even have the heat on, and he's
Yeah.
going to have cut wood all the time.
Okay.
And wood's not that plentiful in those areas.
Okay, I was going to ask you, the temperature. What temperature do you run?
You've got to be able to control it between 180 and 135.
180 and 100?
No, between 80 and 135.
Oh, 80 and 135.
Yeah, and you've got to be able to control it in stages.
So
If you
you-
put this wood in, like we just loaded this kiln yesterday.
Yeah.
If we put this kiln up to 130 degrees tomorrow afternoon, it would ruin all this lumber.
Same as tobacco.
Yeah, that's why I
So
say
you've
if
gotta
you've
start
cured
out slow
tobacco,
then too?
if you've cured tobacco, you can cure lumber. It's the same
Oh,
thing.
so you start out at 80?
We start
get
out just
exhaust,
at,
get all your humidity out?
yeah, we just
Like-
start out at the temperature that, whatever the temperature is. You close up your kiln, and we'll seal this kiln this afternoon.
Yeah.
And the
What do you mean
temperature,
when you seal it? Let's
just
see.
around the doors here, so that we can control the wind. We don't
Okay.
want any foreign air
You
coming
tape
in
it
and out.
or something like
Just stick the insulation in it,
that? All right.
just so that you got sealed doors.
Okay.
So as you can control what you're putting in and taking out of there. If you've got air holes all over the place, there's no use having an air exchanger because Mother Nature's going to interfere with you.
Well, is the forced air burner similar to what you're saying, an air exchange, I suppose? 'Cause it's-
No, because you're putting heat in when you're running your forced air burner at times when you might not want to run your heat exchanger. And you'll be running your heat exchanger at times when you might not want to run your furnace or your
Okay.
air exchanger. This is 6/4 right here. Now for every 1/2 inch thicker, you should consider another 2 weeks.
Did you understand what he said there? Because I
So
didn't.
the wider board, you have to have longer to cure
The
it.
thicker the boards,
Yeah,
not the
thicker,
wider, the thicker
thicker.
the boards.
Yeah.
Like a 1-inch board will cure in 30 days. An 1.5-inch board, you should consider 6 weeks. 2 inches, you should consider 2 months. 3 inches, you should consider 3 months. Now that'll vary back and forth depending on the moisture that was in your tree when you cut it down and how long
Okay.
you left the wood on air drying.
Is there a gauge that they know this? Because I think they're really.
You have to have a moisture meter that you drive into your piece of wood, and it takes your moisture content.
And where can we get one of them?
At a lumber supplier, like at a woodworking place. They would be $150, I suppose. They're just a little
Where'd
neater
you
than
get yours? Is there a chance
We don't
for us
have
to get
one.
it today? Oh, you don't have one, you go by feeling.
Yeah,
Similar to heat cure tobacco?
Yeah.
Or humidifier?
yeah. Like you wouldn't get a whole bunch of automatic gauges if you were going to cure tobacco tomorrow.
No.
Where a young guy starting in, he'd need them.
Yeah, right.
But you just do it by
Yeah.
the seat of your pants.
Sean would have that. Okay, then I'd have to ask the question then, like when it's thicker, like you have to wait this whole kill, or no, you take out the thinner stuff?
Yeah,
This
we
is
would.
gonna take longer.
Well, it would, except that this 6/4 has been air drying for about 8 months, and this
Oh, I see.
4/4 in here.
Outside, you mean air
Yeah,
dry.
and this 4/4 has only been air drying for about a month
Okay.
and a half.
So
So
he
this
even-
is already, like, we try to even it up
Yeah.
in nature before we
Okay.
put it in the kiln.
Yeah.
Now, there's sometimes if we had 3 or 4 inch in here, we would make sure we put it at the bottom, and we'd leave it there for 2 or 3 kill changes. If we had some real thick
I see.
stuff that we would do.
Okay.
Make sure sticks are out near the edge, because even when they're stacked outside air drying, because the air will crack your board in as far as that lath.
It will?
It will. You'll see these little cracks here? Those are little air cracks that
Yeah,
run in.
yeah.
If that board was right out an inch from the end, those little cracks would only go an inch. Now those
Why
will
is
fill
that?
back in, but that's why you leave boards. An 8-foot board
Very important.
is 8'6", because you always trim that before you sell it. If you're selling it to high
Well,
retail
I'll be damned.
price.
Like when I stack the boards I bought from you for my bridge,
Yeah.
we don't do that. I never really.
I suppose
noticed.
you just stuck
We-
the sticks
We
anyways.
put sticks in, yeah.
And
Like
make
every
sure
year,
that they're
every year.
lined straight up and down, because if you put this stick here and this one over here and this one over here, your boards are gonna go like this,
Okay.
because the weight will force them up and down. Now see,
That's why I
hen,
get mine a little bit wavy.
yep, it'll cause a real wave to them.
So that's important, Marilyn, keep those sticks right straight line.
Yeah, the sticks
I drew
have
that
to-
on a piece of paper for him. As far as the heat goes, you wanna be able to heat your kiln without a lot of forced air pressure. And if you're gonna heat it with forced air, kill that forced air someplace before it gets to your lumber. And heat from the bottom. If you heat from the top, your bottom will never cure. The old tobacco
Heat from
kilns,
the
when you
bottom.
started, you heated from the bottom.
Okay.
Because naturally, the heat goes to the top.
They have gas there, Marilyn?
I don't know,
Do
Mike.
they?
Huh?
I don't know.
They might have. That's about all you need, really. You need an insulated building. Your size is your choice. If you don't heat from the bottom, you could load it with a forklift. But if you don't heat from the bottom, you're not going to do as good a job.
Okay.
So do you manhandle it?
They've got lots of labor.
They got cheap labor.
Cheap labor.
So, and like, he doesn't have to build a building like this. He can use an old truck van. He can use a bulk kiln. He can use an old milk truck van. Just, a cube van.
Well, just a small,
Just a truck van, a straight job or a semi.
Okay.
Like, there's lots of
depends
them.
how big he's gonna get.
Yeah, it depends on.
I
what
would
he's
think
doing.
he's gonna build it, because he bought 9 acres down there. I don't know. But did you get, Marilyn, why this?
Yeah, I put that on
Yeah,
there,
that's
dear.
just for rain protection. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need that there. We could have a little tent here
Yeah.
to put over top the door.
Well, I think that was thinking ahead in my view.
As long as your forklifts don't have a boom, because look at the front of the building.
Oh, yeah, the big van.
The boys don't stop in time.
I guess I can turn this off for now.
Yeah, I think
Don, listen to what he's saying.
what you can convey to him is that's from the central ventilation systems. They call it life breath. All it is an air exchanger. It brings fresh air in from outside here. It takes it in there, goes through a filter, pipes it into the top of the kiln. So your fresh air is going into the top of the kiln, and naturally it's cold, so it's going to fall.
Yeah.
And it falls, and it sucks the damp, warm air that it forces down to the bottom. It sucks it out of this pipe and takes the water out of it and blows it out the other end of the kiln. Now, if you take a look out there, and I turn this on, you'll see out behind there might.
Moisture coming
That's
out.
just from the doors being closed up, and that lumber, just like your tobacco, you get a whole lot of it
Yeah.
together, and it kind of starts
Yeah, if that
to
was
body
tobacco,
sweat
like in
or
a cold
something.
morning like this, you'd see the, like steam rolling.
Yeah,
out of
well,
it.
tomorrow morning, if you came over here, that would just
Yeah.
be a solid.
That's a
flood
very
sheet.
small exhaust, Merlin.
Oh yeah, you don't need much, Mike.
See that thing has got the name of it up there, life breather, life breath.
But he can get any type of an exchanger. All the new houses now, and I would think it would be the same down there. All got
Cut it out?
schoolhouses.
Yeah, hot water boilers out of old school. Oh, out of old school.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's all they are.
And one you, it looks like you run on wood.
Yeah, this one here's on propane. That one's on wood. They're tied together so that when the wood fire's going, the propane don't bother coming on.
That's a hell of a good idea.
And if we go away or we don't want to come out at night to fill the wood boiler, then the propane runs. If it gets in the summertime and it's too hot to have a wood stove, you let the propane do the work. But oils, put an air exchanger in the top, and that's all he needs.
But like when you're heating actually with hot water.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well that's kind of important to me because if you go to like hot water is kind of a moist heat. You know, it's not a dry heat.
Well, no, it is a dry heat because
is
the
it?
water don't come out of the pipes.
Oh yeah.
Hot water is
Yeah.
likely as dry as electric heat.
Oh.
It's a very, very dry
How
heat.
come people with hot water, like with boilers, are healthier? Like they say it's a lot healthier. I guess because you don't have the air.
You don't get no dust.
Yeah, that's what
really
it is.
control your air
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah.
And
And the
I don't
reason,
think
like,
it matters.
This big sliding door, the only reason for that is
Oh,
the
just-
access with your wood.
just convenience for getting in and out of here. In the summertime, we open that and leave it open. No real reason for it at all.
Well, the size of your building, for instance.
This building is 17 feet deep, and it's about 40 feet long, but not for any special reason.
Okay.
Just we wanted enough room for the boilers at this end, and we wanted enough room to put
Yeah.
10,000 feet in.
Right.
If you build a building 16, a usable space for lumber 16 by 30, you can do 10,000 board feet of lumber at a time.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
He doesn't need that to start up with. Like I say, if he gets himself an air exchanger and a way of heating without a lot of air movement,
Yeah, that's
he
important.
can put it in a truck van, he can put it in a tool shed, he can put it in an old motor home,
Yeah.
he can put it in an old trailer from
Yeah.
the mobile trailer parks. Like he can
Yeah,
put it in
right.
anything, and as he grows, he takes that piece of equipment out, puts it in his bigger building. Because it doesn't take a whole lot. When you seal a building off, you know with your kiln with that
Yeah.
because you got no air to heat.
Okay, I have a question to ask you now, just for Sean's, like he's got a portable sawmill, right? Like, is there a rule of thumb what he should be charging or like he doesn't know what he should be charging because nobody down there has anything like
Up here, see, he can charge what the market will bear. Up
Yeah.
here, portable mills go around to the places and cut the wood, and they will charge about $250 a thousand.
that. $250,000.
Yeah, we charge about $150
200.
a thousand.
Two. I don't understand. $2.50.
$250 for every 1,000 board
Oh.
feet. And so as you would have an idea, 1,000 board feet would be 2 good half-ton pickup loads of lumber.
Okay,
That's about
important.
the easiest
Are
way for
you're
you to
getting
know.
the sound, eh?
Like
Yes,
he
I
knows
hope
what
so.
he'll know what 1,000
Yeah.
board feet is.
Well, he won't know.
George will know.
Eh?
George will know.
George.
Oh, they will know because a board foot is 1 inch thick and a foot square. Like a 1-inch board, a foot square is a board foot.
Okay.
So if you had a 1 by 12, 12 feet long, you'd have 12 feet in it, 12 board
All
feet.
right. Okay.
If it was a 2 by 12, 12 feet long, you'd have 24 board feet in it because you doubled the thickness.
Okay.
It's just a square foot 1 inch thick.
What about planing? Like he has a planer I was telling you about that with a 3-phase motor on it.
Planing,
What
he
should-
can likely get 10 cents for every side.
10 cents. So there's 4 sides. Okay, that's good to know.
Most people wouldn't want the sides dressed. What the saw does with the sides, because if you're going to buy something, you're going to dress it down before you glue it together. If you're going to make your wife a coffee table
Yeah.
or something.
His planer is like that old thing he bought is 24 inch.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a planer that
And
wide.
that's a
before.
big old
Yeah,
planer.
heavy. I put it in the back, like right up in my cabin, like it was in Port
You
Dover.
put it in a half-ton pickup.
Yeah, when it, oh, I'll tell you, we just made it home. I didn't realize all, because nobody knew all that.
Okay, is that all now?
I think so. What he's got to remember is,
Sean will be seeing this by
yeah, kiln
tomorrow
drying lumber is like tobacco, like you know what tobacco's
Yeah,
like. Now he's
yeah.
going to wish that he'd have been following you around to the tobacco kilns in the middle of the night, because he could have done lumber automatically. If he likes cooking, you can refer it to cooking a steak or cooking a hamburger. If you cook the outside, the blood's going to stay raw in the middle. This is why you can't bring the heat up fast on lumber, because if you bring the heat up too fast, then you've got the outside sealed, you've got a crust on it, the inside will never cure.
Do you have a simple
And then
question?
it'll all bubble, and he'll get a whole lot of little tiny holes. If you cut a board in half and look at the end of the board, you'd be able to take a straight pin and push it in all these little holes, and they call that honeycomb.
Oh,
And what you've done is ruined the lumber.
you dried it too quick.
You dried it
with
too
moisture
quick.
in it.
Yeah, too quick. You got to bring the moisture from the inside out first. And to do that, you can't get a crust on it. It's just like cooking a hamburger. If you burn the outside of your hamburger, you can't get the blood out of the inside. You're going to ruin your hamburger. So you start your heat low, and you bring it up gradually. You should start it at 80 or 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and bring it up about 5 degrees a day. And if your heat's coming up too quick, leave a little extra moisture in there and turn your heat down. Bringing your moisture out will bring that heat up faster, because you're drying that wood out and you're doing it too fast.
Yeah.
So don't bring it up too fast, and don't bring it up any more than 4 or 5 degrees a day. And then by the end of 3 weeks, it'll automatically sit around 120 to 125.
Just like tobacco.
Just, yeah, if he controls the humidity he's
Yeah,
taking.
yeah. Okay, like in tobacco, then like I have humidity, like humidistats, eh?
Yeah.
Which I use more or less for.
Well,
like bring
he
it
can
back.
use them down there, but
It'd be similar. Like you just go by rule of thumb because you're used. You
yeah,
know.
and I don't know what degree of humidity it should be at.
Okay. I'm
Only
guessing you're at about 95% when you start out. As soon as you get up to 80 or 90%.
I don't know. Humidity's funny because there's such a thing as having 180 degrees humidity, or 180% humidity. Well, how can you if 100% is water?
Yeah,
But you
100%
can.
is raining.
But you can have 180%.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't understand humidity. All I do
Yeah.
is know that if this kiln is up to 120 degrees,
Yeah.
and I turn that fan on, and there's not hardly any moisture coming out of there, then I'd better leave the fan off and don't exchange the air until we.
Okay.
And if that happened when your kiln was only about a week or a week and a half old, take a water hose and spray water right in on top of the wood. Wet her down in there again.
Oh yeah.
Because she's getting too dry too fast. The same as you do with tobacco.
Okay.
You dry your tobacco too fast, you better get some moisture.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes that's tough to do.
It's tough, but you have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that happens very, very seldom. But if it dries too fast and he's not getting any humidity, he should be able to get humidity out of there anytime. And don't run that fan all the time. Turn it on and off when he opens the door and he can feel moisture. Then turn it on for a while. If it's not pumping very much out, turn it off, because
Okay.
you want humidity in there. And if he takes it out, get the water hose out and get her back in.
Okay.
Like
That's
if he turned the fan on and forgot it
Yeah.
and went away for the day and come back and the fan was running, not a speck of humidity coming out of there, he'd better get the water hose out, because the heat will be gone up and it'll be getting too dry in there and he'll be crusting the outside. But he'll
Al, you have like what I call a buzzsaw, a big round buzzsaw that seems quite efficient. I don't like this thing that he bought. It's a bandsaw, which you know, eh? Well, anyway, he'll talk to you when he comes home. He's coming home in May.
a bandsaw is the only thing he needs. He can only cut.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, he can only cut 1,000 feet a day if he works real hard all day long.
Catch that, 1,000 feet a day.
Yeah, and with 3 men here, we could saw 7,000 feet a day, and this is an old mill.
Yeah.
A newer mill, an electric mill, with the big circular saw like we've got, could likely saw 10,000 feet a day.
Oh, my goodness.
The big saws that are the great big like Townsend's mill over here.
Yeah.
They can saw 25,000 feet.
But this one, what does this do again?
Oh, if we really pushed it about 70,000 feet a day.
3 guys.
But you got to push it.
And Sean will be able to do with the portable, how much?
Maybe 1,000.
1,000.
But he's in an area where, depending on the what would you call it, the availability of public money, he can charge what he wants to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's nobody around him doing
See,
anything like that.
If you've got a log, you've got 10 logs sitting on your little farm down there.
Yeah.
Where is he, in the Barbados?
No, Jamaica.
In Jamaica. If you've got 10 little logs sitting on your farm down there, there's no possible way you can get boards out of that.
No.
So what's it
Well,
worth to
they
you?
can do it with chainsaws in there.
Yeah. So what's it worth to you to get boards?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, like you would pay $50 a log.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you can saw a log up in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like if you want to
Well-
make $100 an hour with a little portable saw, that's pretty good. That's pretty good money.
When I was talking to you yesterday, that like Michael just come back from there about a month ago. My other son, he said that that he thinks that he's going to get $1,000 American for a tree. But
Yeah.
I don't know how big the trees are. You know.
Yeah, like
I'd have to be down
yeah,
there. I've
that's
never
like
done that.
that's like saying that you can sell a used car for $2,000. Which
Yeah,
car?
so, yeah, so if you find a buyer to do it.
Yeah, but which car?
Yeah.
Can I turn this off now?
Yeah.
What about this now? The direction.